Good news, everyone! We've traveled to the 31st century to have an exclusive chat with a very special star from the future. And that's you, Billy West. Welcome to Moovy TV.
Thank you.
The 12th season of Futurama has just finished airing on Disney+, and that's both puzzling and delightful because the Emmy Award-winning cartoon series has actually been cancelled twice since its original launch back in 1999.
We're back, baby!
The show was originally conceived by, among others, Simpsons creator Matt Groening, but despite great reviews, impressive ratings, and a growing fan base, the series was cancelled in 2003 after 5 seasons.
This holiday season, a story that began with the greatest tragedy in television history.
We were canceled? Yes.
Before being resurrected in 2007,
Good news, everyone! Those asinine morons who cancelled us were themselves fired for incompetence.
We're back, baby!
and then cancelled again in 2013, before Disney brought it back to life once more with its 11th season last year.
Here's our pitch. Remember that show?
The one that got canceled 3 times?
New episodes of that! That's our pitch.
And season 13 and 14 are already in production, so fans can look forward to many more adventures with the constantly drunk and sardonic robot Bender,
Who is that guy?
Your mama. Now shut up and drag me to work.
the hard-hitting one-eyed alien Leela,
Is that all you got? Hiya!
the charming pizza delivery boy Philip J. Fry,
Shut up and take my money.
and the rest of the motley crew at the freight company Planet Express.
Here, look at this.
Stop fighting! Okay, I'm done.
And it's easy to understand why Futurama keeps getting resurrected, because the series continues to deliver plenty of laughs,
Hostile aliens have wiped out several of our remote bases. Here, here, and here.
I've been to 2 of those bases.
beautiful animation, and great interplay between some of the most memorable characters in cartoon history.
Surprise, sailor.
And many of those are actually voiced by just one actor, our special guest, Billy West. Today, West is 72 years old and widely recognized as one of America's greatest voice actors of all time. His voice's amazing range has even made West so famous and in demand that he's appeared on numerous talk shows for decades.
Please welcome Billy West. Now, is this what you always wanted to do? Did you always want to do cartoon voices?
Yeah.
You did stand up for a while, didn't you?
Yeah, I failed miserably. That's a tough living. I mean, I really respect you guys. I took the easy way out. I just hide in a booth and do whatever I want in the dark, you know?
But West's personal and professional journey has been, to put it mildly, very bumpy. As a child, he grew up with an alcoholic and abusive father who almost beat his son to death several times. And West found it difficult to navigate a conservative school system which didn't show consideration for his autism or ADHD. But with his amazing voice, West was able to create worlds and characters that comforted both him and his mother. And West also found comfort and creative nourishment in the world of music, in which he's been a great guitarist for decades.
This is a song that I hope it'll touch your emotions.
And after overcoming personal trauma, alcoholism, and drug abuse, West made his big breakthrough in Hollywood.
I'm Popeye the Sailor Man. I'm Popeye the Sailor Man.
Billy West has voiced iconic characters such as Popeye, Bugs Bunny,
What's up, Doc?
Ren and Stimpy,
I'm a cat. Shut up before.
and even the red chocolate M&M.
So, Lord Vader, these dark chocolate M&Ms are a good idea, but, we've decided not to join the dark side.
And in the wonderful world of Futurama, more than 100 different characters have been voiced by West.
Nixon's pro-war and pro-family.
Zap Brannigan, at your service.
I need a drink.
Animals, attack!
So, now Zoidberg is big, huh?
Good news, everyone! Thank you. You've been a great audience.
But the actor's own voice mostly resembles that of the main character, Philip J. Fry,
The world needs Star Trek to give people hope for the future.
I wanted to move to New York and just work in production.
whom we originally met in the series' 25 years old pilot episode.
I won't be gone long, Seymour. Just wait here till I come back.
Fry is cryogenically frozen on New Year's Eve in the year 1999. before waking up to a new world with some new friends, right on the cusp of the 31st century.
Whew. It's the future. My parents, my coworkers, my girlfriend. I'll never see any of them again. Yahoo!
Billy, this is a huge pleasure for me. I mean, I've been watching this show here in Denmark ever since it started airing back in 1999. Actually, back when it started there was actually like a seminal moment for me because I was moving from a little tiny town here in Denmark to Copenhagen, and I was about to start high school like 200 kilometers from where I was living. I didn't know anybody, so that warmth and humor of Futurama, but also Fry, you know, this guy who's also stepping into a totally different universe, you know, with, you know, people he didn't know anything. It was so comforting to me, and it's part of the reason I've loved this universe ever since. You know?
Sure, we all know that fish out of water feeling. You know, it happens many times in a person's life where you go off into the unknown, and sometimes you got to leave everybody behind, and it's cold out there alone. So the thing that you identify with is exactly like Fry being thrust into you know, same town only in the year 3000.
Exactly.
Very surreal.
Yeah, definitely so surreal and so funny. Luckily,
I'm glad you like it, and I'm glad that you've been a fan of it for a long. We all thank you. You know,
one of the reasons I'm still such a huge fan of this show is also compared to so many other animated comedy shows where the humor is very much predominantly very raunchy. It's a bit cynical, it's dark, you know, a lot of the time.
Now help me with these bodies.
This is insane.
Look, Morty, I'll grab myself, you grab yourself, okay? I mean, that seems fair to me. I mean, that seems like a fair way to divvy it up.
Rick! And it's very much hooked up on pop culture references.
Yeah, Joe, even RoboCop took a day off once in a while. Nope.
Where I think in Futurama, it's also one of the reasons I love Star Trek. You know, there's a different warmth to it. There's a different good-naturedness to it. I mean, sometimes it does get a little bit raunchy.
Oh my.
But there's still a bit more warmth and charm to it. Is that something that you respond to as well, that you're glad about?
Well, I hearken back to this a lot, is that one time Matt Groening said to us that he felt that The Simpsons was cartoon, but to him, Futurama was real. And I knew exactly what he meant because when I interpret cartoon characters like on that show, I didn't want them to be like cartoon characters, like two-dimensional. I wanted to put a third dimension so that you could feel like you could actually know those people. You know, you could know a Zoidberg or a Fry or a Zap Brannigan even, because there's so many narcissists out there. You know, and he's so deliciously stupid, and he's fun to laugh at, and how full of himself he is. And I wanted them to resonate to people so that it wasn't like they were watching cartoon characters telling a story, that it was almost like real people.
I mean, you just mentioned, of course, your characters there, and of course, you've done, I believe, at last count is about 120 characters in total on this show. But of course, you have those four main characters. Of course, you have Farnsworth, you have Fry, you have Zoidberg, and of course, Zap Brannigan, who's probably my favorite character, even though I know he's a bit of a, he's a bit of a dick. But this is
a bit.
Yeah.
You think? And he's got all these endearing qualities like cowardice.
Yeah.
We were doomed from the start. Nothing remains now but for the captain to go down with the ship.
Why, that's surprisingly noble of you, sir.
No, it's noble of you, Kif. As of now, you're in command. Congratulations, Captain.
But again, because of the warmth and humor that you imbue him with your voice, he's one of those characters you love to hate, I'd say,
Yes. Yes.
But I know this is probably a question you get all the time, but like, of all those four, do you have like a particular character that you love the most doing in the sound recording studio?
You know what? I don't want to disappoint anybody, but I care very, very much about those characters, and I was honored to be entrusted to interpret them, for Matt Groening and David X. Cohen. Oh gosh, I put 100,000% into everything I ever did, so I can't pick one because they're just all so wonderful. They're so rich, and and it was my job to just keep the quality, to keep the enthusiasm, and keep trying to add or bring something to the table. and I'm glad for that opportunity. But I can't pick one, you know, it's really hard.
Yeah, I can imagine. It's also difficult for me as a fan. I'm reminded actually of a quote of a different, also great voice actor, Seth MacFarlane.
Oh, damn it, Peter, that hurt! Relax, Quagmire.
Who has expressed, you know, some regret about some of the characters that he did where he chose some voices that were very hurtful for his vocal cords, like the dad in American Dad.
What happened to breakfast in bed?
I know, and what happened to dressing up on airplanes and handwritten thank you notes?
You promised me!
It hurts his vocal cords every time he has to do that voice, but now he's stuck with it because he created it, and that's how it started at the beginning. So I was wondering, have you ever done that? Have you been in that situation where there's a character that requires, you know, to take some extra water and some throat lozenges, you know, in the recording studio when you do them?
Yeah, it happened on another show, which I won't mention right now. But no, I mean, I think the most taxing one would be the professor, because he's got a rough kind of a old man raspy voice, and he seems to be always angry.
Ooh, if anyone needs me, I'll be in the angry dome.
He's always sort of, you know, shouting plaintively, you know, I don't want to live on this planet anymore. You know, and I keep him cranky and crotchety, and they say the more the better, you know, that's what they tell me. Like, you know, I said, geez, he's really angry in this episode. Yes, be more. And it's fun to see somebody angry. It really is. It doesn't disturb anybody. You just want to laugh at them. Like, why are you so angry? And that's the one that if anything can wear and tear on me, that one does.
Just a few more inches. Come on.
And I can't imagine Seth thinking that he's being damaged by anything. That guy is amazing, and it's so hard for me to believe that he was like, oh, I'm stuck with this. I can't do it really that well, and I have to kill myself to do it.
Why is this story all about Mom this week? What, are we giving Seth's voice a rest?
I know the guy, you know. I know what he's capable of.
Yeah, he's a big talent, of course, just like you. I don't think he's done 120 characters yet, but he's probably getting there. But I mean,
he's a phenom, you know. He always was.
Yeah.
Oh man, I hate Trivial Pursuit. Always makes me feel so stupid.
More stupid than that time you locked your keys out of the car?
Damn it! Hey! Somebody! Hey! Sir! You see those keys there, sir?
But it's funny because, you know, John DiMaggio, I mean, constantly sounds hoarse. But I don't think that's because of what the Bender voice does to his voice. I think that's probably just the status quo of what his voice sounds like. It always sounds a bit hoarse.
Go get him, Tiger.
It's coming to me. It's coming to me. It's just thinking too fast.
But he's a lot gentler when you're talking to him, like intimately, like, you know, if you're discussing something, he's a lot gentler. His voice is not that gruff. I think he does make a transition when he's doing Bender, and I always thought it was the perfect voice for a robot that has to drink to stay sober, and all these wonderful premises.
The chemical energy keeps my fuel cells charged.
What are the cigars for?
They make me look cool.
Yeah, but that's funny because I was reminded that you once said in the interview that when you went to audition for Futurama right back in the beginning, you did, you know, voices for practically all the main characters, including Bender. But you said that you didn't feel that you did, you know, right by that character. But I've always been so curious, you know, what was it that you did with your take on Bender? I don't know if you're willing to share like what that sounded like.
Well, I try to make him sound like kind of an authoritative construction worker or something, you know what I mean? Where he was big and he was this and he was that. But it didn't ring true to me. I just gave it a shot, you know. But I know when I'm ringing the bell and when I'm not, you know. I just know after all these years. But I mean, you know, they just wanted me to try it. I had no idea I was going to audition for Philip J. Fry. I had no idea when I got there. They just sprung it on me, and I was like, oh God, what am I going to do? So I had nothing prepared. So I said, okay, I'm going to do something I never do, which is my own voice for something except when I was 25 years old.
I laugh. Nobody knows more about Star Trek than me.
And I thought it would keep some realism and honesty and truth if I did exactly what I was like when I was 25, which was whiny and nasally and complainy.
Oh, man.
I was needy. I was a project for a girl. But my heart was always in the right place. I wasn't black-hearted, you know, even when I was a teenager or, you know, when I got in my 20s and I was a troublemaker, I still had a good heart. I just lost my way. But since Fry is needy and he's like a project, his heart's in the right place, but Leela is so strong and decisive, which made them perfect for each other. The dynamic that's lasted this long.
What do you say? Want to go around again?
I do.
And speaking of lasting long, I mean, here at the end, I gotta ask, this show just keeps getting resurrected. I mean, it keeps going away, but it keeps coming back. And there are lots of us fans who are happy about that. Do you think we'll still be talking about Futurama? Keep getting renewed, like, in the 31st century and beyond?
I hope so. I hope so. I mean, you know, maybe that's now that they're introducing kids on the show, it might be Futurama the next generation, you know, where Kif's son grows up and Fry's and Leela's kid grows up and Hermes' kid. Yeah, you know, I mean, you never know. You never know. I always thought there should have been a Zap and Kif spin-off.
We made it through, Kif. How many men did we lose?
All of them.
Well, at least they won't have to mourn each other.
But I hope it just goes on and on forever, and I know it'll outlive me, that's for sure. So if I ever retire in a country like Denmark, I'd be sitting in a coffee shop and I'll have stuff to talk about when I'm an old man with younger people.
Fingers crossed. You're always welcome here in Denmark, Billy, especially with everything that's going on. Fingers crossed for democracy and for Harris. I know you're very politically involved as well, so we're really rooting for you guys.
Yeah, I'm full-throated about politics. You know, there's a lot of people who don't want to hear what I have to say. They just go, stick to the voices, you know, and which is such an ignorant thing to say. It's like, oh, I'm just a puppet, you know, I don't have a brain in my head. No.
I mean, would you say? Yeah.
Yeah, all I owe these guys is a good performance, you know, but outside of that, but I am grateful for the fans, and I have tons of gratitude, and I feel very lucky, and I'm honored, you know, that people are so receptive to what we did.
I'm out of time. It's been a pleasure, Billy. Hope to talk to you again on a different season. And
I'm sure we will.
Care.
I'm sure we will. Thank you.
You have a belt.
Or at least a substantial butt.
Sorry, guys. I'm a flatty. Manscape me, Kif. That's an order.
Ow! You do you, weirdo! I'll bite my glittering festive ass!
Yep.
How do we get out of here?
Easy. We'll burrow out. Burrow! Burrow! I deserve that!